So there's the box numbers and then there's the horn numbers. Now the box numbers are more probable to roll, but the horn bets pay much better. So today I'm going to show you a strategy that really takes advantage of the horn bet. Casino craps, it might look complicated, but at its core, it's a simple game. Roll the dice, bet on the correct number, and win. Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I am a craps fanatic. My job, to teach you the game, to teach you the math and some strategies, and with a little luck, you can color up. This is a strategy that I learned from my friend Brian over at the Holy Roller YouTube channel. Now he's the one who taught me how to play craps on a cruise to win free cruises. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check out his channel. Now you may have heard the term see a horn, bet a horn. That means whenever you see the numbers, the horn numbers, which are 2, 3, 11, and 12, when you see one of those roll, see a horn, you bet a horn because it's going to happen again. Now that's more superstition than anything. So the horn bet makes up 6 dice combinations out of the total 36. So really the chance of it happening is 1 in 6. So yeah, when you see a horn and you bet on it, the chance of it happening, 1 in 6. So if you get 2 horns, what do you got? Well, you got a bull. So he calls this strategy running with the bulls. Now, if it's just 1 horn, he calls it a unicorn, right? So that's not gonna help us out. We want 2 horns, we wanna run with the bulls. Let me back up and break down what a horn bet is, and then I'm going to show you how to play running with the bulls. So a horn bet is a bet on all the outside numbers. So if you look at the table, what's missing here? The 2, 3, then you got the rest of the numbers, 11 and 12. We can bet them here in the middle. The 2, 3, 11 and 12. So a horn bet is a bet on all 4 of those numbers, or a horn bet. The dealers could take your bet. It's a $4 bet. And they could put them out like this, but a lot of times you'll see them stacking them up and put it as one $4 bet. Now with this strategy, we're going to be betting a horn high yo bet or horn high 11 bet. What that means, it's the same as a horn bet, but we're going to have it high or an extra dollar on the 11 or the yo. So it's high on the 11. Now, if we were to make a horn high 2, it would be $1 on each with $1 extra on the 2. So this would be a horn high on the 2, or a horn high 3, or a horn high 12. So just depending on what you're high on or what your extra dollar is on. So this is a $5 bet, and you could throw it in and say, give me a horn high yo. So it would be a horn high on the yo, and that's what the running with the bulls is going to be. Now we're going to play this at a $10 table and make it a $10 horn high yo. So what that means, instead of $1 on each with 2 on the 11, we have $2 each with $4 on the 11. We're also going to make a $10 field bet. So a $10 field bet, $10 horn high yo bet. Now he calls this a supplemental strategy. So you really wouldn't play this by itself. I mean, I guess you could, but usually let's say maybe you bet the inside numbers, or maybe you're doing like an iron cross, which is a 5, 6, and 8 in the field. So some other strategy, or kind of whatever you want, and then you add this on top of it. So the trigger for this bet is, again, see a horn, bet horn. So whenever a horn number rolls, 2, 3, 11, or 12, that's when we're going to make the field bet and the horn bet. And if we roll a 2, 3, 11, or 12, well, we actually win double. So we'd win here with our horn bet, but we'd also win here in the field, 2, 3, 11, and 12. If we don't roll a horn number, it might be okay, because if we roll the 4, 9, or 10, we would lose this bet, but we'd win in the field. So you'd break even. Problem numbers are here, the 5, 6, and 8, because they're not part of the horn and they're not part of the field. So you roll one of these numbers, you're going to lose both bets, or if you roll the 7, you would lose both bets. But if you can roll the field or the horn, you're going to continue running with the bulls, because if you break even in a field, you'll just rebet it. Anytime you roll a horn number, though, we're going to use the money to then bump everything up or press it. So we take the field to 15 and the horn bet to 15. If we were to win it again, we'd go ahead and take it to 20 and continue bumping our bets up as long as we are running with the bulls. I better cover how this pays, because you should be aware of what your proper payoff is. So let's go back to this $10 horn high. So we're going to have $2 on each of these bets with $4 on the yo. Now dealers have a saying, if it pays, it stays. So anytime a bet wins, The other 3 bets are losers. So let's say the 2 rolls. Well, we would get paid 30 to 1. So 30 for this one, 30 for this one. We would get 60, and it stays. So this bet would stay. They pay 60, but remember, these are losers. So we'd have to replace the $8 here. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 60 minus the 8, they would pay you $52, and your bets would stay. So they're going to come out to you with $52, but you go, wait, I was supposed to get 60. Well, they got to replace the losers. Same thing if we actually roll the yo. So we'd get 15, 30, 45, 60 minus 2, 4, $6 in losers. So in that case, we would get 60 minus $6 or $54. If we were to roll the 3, though, it pays a little bit lighter. So we would win 15.30, but we got to replace the $8, so we would get paid $22. So you would get paid 54 for the 11. These both get paid 52, and then this one here gets paid 22. Now that's at the $10 level, and then as we go up, we bump our bets up, and we would continue from there. So let's go ahead and check this strategy out, or this supplemental strategy out, and see if we can't get running with the bulls. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and play this with $200, which gives us 10 chances at trying to hit this. I'm gonna go ahead and move this rack up here just so I could reach this. Now remember, this is to play alongside with whatever other strategy you have. So we're not gonna worry about that. Another thing is, his trigger is see a horn, bet a horn. You know, if you believe in do numbers, I'm more curious if you had another trigger, like say if the 5, 6, and 8, the non-field numbers, maybe roll twice, and then you start to try running with the bulls, if that would work out better. And I'm actually going to have Dicer build for both ways, and we'll compare and see if see a horn, bet a horn is better than maybe, and I'm just picking this at random, missing 2 non-field numbers and then starting. So I don't know, but for this demo, we're gonna do see a horn, bet a horn. So let's go ahead, get started, and see if we can, what do they call it in Barcelona or Spain or wherever, where they do the running with the bulls? I don't even know what that's called. Okay, so right off the bat, pucks off, we roll a 3. So there's our horn. So now we're gonna go ahead and bet the horn and bet the field. Now let's see if we can catch another one. Here we go. 1 in 6 chance. There it is, right off the bat. Wow, we are already running with the bulls. So they're gonna pay your field. And actually this bet should have been down here on the yo. We're high in the yo. So the 3 though, it doesn't pay that great. So we have $2 on it. It's gonna pay 30 minus the losers, or $22. So we can go ahead and rack that up. Maybe I should have this, I'm gonna move this rack over here a little bit. And then we can use this money here to go ahead and bump it up to $15 each. Now, can we get 3 in a row? That's where it really starts paying. 8, easy 8. No, we can't. Nor do we hit a field number. So all this is gonna go down. And we just keep going from there. But we rolled an 8, so that's the point. Not that it matters, I'll try to remember, but here we go. All right. 10, easy. My dice rolled there. There's a 11, there's a yo. So again, we see a horn, we're gonna bet a horn, and then we're gonna bet the field. Let's see if we can make it happen. There's a 9. We're not going to win in the horn, so we lose our horn bet, but we win in the field, so we can just replace it and keep trying to run with the bulls. Here we go. I think you get it at this point. And there's a 7 out. So we're going to lose both those bets. Puck goes off. We're going to have a new shooter. And here we go. Yo 11. All right, we're hitting horn numbers. That's a good sign. On the come out, so horn bet, field bet. Here we go. 9. Point's going to be 9, and we're going to, let's see, we're going to lose our horn, but we're going to win in the field, so we can just use that money to recover the horn. 8, easy. That's not going to work for us, though. 5, 6, and 8. Those are the killers. Well, and 7. So down comes the 20. Same shooter. Here we go. 10 the hard way. 10 hard. There's a 10 easy. 4 easy. Gonna have to watch some rolls go by here. There's a 7. Puck will go off. We're gonna have a new shooter. Here we go. New shooter coming out. Out on the 10. 10 easy. There's an 8. There's a 4. There's a yo. There's a horn number. So we see a horn. Now we're going to bet a horn. Here we go. 3. There we go. So we're going to win in the field, and then we're going to win after the losers. We're going to win $22. So let's go ahead and rack that up. And let's use this money to bump it up. Now we got $15 bets. Now let's see if we can do it again. Yo 11, there we go. Nice. Now we're running with the bulls. So at the $15, we have $4 on here. So we're going to win $90. So, no. So with the yo, we actually, I keep putting it up there, but it should be down here. Here we have $6. We have $3 on these numbers, and we have $6 on the yo. So that's going to pay us 90 minus the losers, or $9. So we're going to win $81. So 75, $81. Oh, and I forgot to pay in the field, 15 in the field. So we can rack all this up. And now we're going to bump it up to $20. Now at the $20 level, it's really just a horn bet. Now, you could break it up and keep it yo bet. I think that's how he does it, so it's heavy on that. But because it's divisible, we could just leave it as a horn bet. It's not going to pay very well or as much on the yo, but I don't know. It's just kind of easy to do it that way. But however you want to do it, whether you mix it up or just make it like an official horn bet. We're going to keep it there. Let's see if we can actually hit it first, and then we'll worry about it. Look at that. There it is. All right, there's the 2. So we're going to win 20 here in the bubble. So we have $4 on each, so we're going to win 120 minus the 12, or $108. So $108. Now we're cooking. Now we're running with the bulls. And we're going to rack all this up as well. And then we're going to go ahead and bump this up to $25 each. Now this is essentially would be, there's a horn bet high with $5 on the yo. So we're back to the horn high yo bet. And then we got 25 here. All right, can we do it one more time? I don't even know where the puck is. I lost track. I think I'm okay. I'm just rolling horn numbers. There's the 11. This is insane. All right, but that's how it works. So our 25 is going to win 25 here. We have $10 on the yo, so we're going to win 150 minus, let me break down, 150 minus 15. So that's a win of $125, $135. After we replace the losers. This is a heck of a streak we're on here. And let me pay this out in red. Red 25 here. So I can take this and bump these up to $5 each. And this, we just rack. So actually I can probably clean this up as well. So we have a $30 bet there. And we have, wait a second. I should go to the bank. Okay. And then I'm going to change this. There we go. And a $30 bet there. Can we do it one more time? I mean, $30 bet is crazy to bet on this. These are high house edge, bad bets. But whenever you're bringing it up from $5, not as bad. Okay, there's the 4, which is kind of cool because we lose our 30, but we win it right there. Look at that. We get another shot at a $30 horn high bet. Risk-free, kind of. I don't know. Probably not the way to explain it. But there's a 9. So again, we lose here. We win in the field. We got another $30 crack at a 1 in 6 chance. All right, there's the 8. There, it's all going to come down. All right, we had some fun running with the bulls though for a little bit there. These are going to come down. Still haven't hit our point. So same shooter. Here we go. There's a 9. Two. All right, here we go. Here we go. $10 horn. We see a horn. We're going to bet a horn. $10 field. 6 easy, 6 easy. So down they come. All right. Can't happen every time, right? All right. There's another 6. There's a 7 out for this shooter. Puck will go off. We'll simulate a new shooter. Coming out. There's a 7 on the come out. Another 7. 2. Spot and a dot. That's a horn number for us. So we're going to bet horn. Still looking for a point. And in the field. And here we go. 6 easy. That's going to be our point, but we're not going to go anywhere. We're not going to be running anywhere. All right, we're going to have to wait for the next horn number. There's an 8 easy. 10 easy. 6 easy point hit. Puck will go off. We don't really care about the puck. We're just looking for horn numbers. Well, unless your other strategy is doing whatever. So there's a 5. We're back out on the 5. 8 easy. Notice we went through 100, so we still essentially got 100 left. I don't know if I'm going to get through all of this, but there's a horn. So horn, field. See if we can make it happen. 7 out. All right. Puck will go off, and new shooter. Coming out. 9 will be our point. Stack's getting too big. Looking for a horn. There's a 5. I hit my dice and it rolled, but it was a 5. There's an 8. There's a 4. Sometimes you'll go long stretches without seeing it, you know. These are the most unlikely numbers. There's an 8. There's a yo, there's a horn. All right, that's our trigger. Remember, you can set whatever trigger you want. Maybe every time you see a 10, you do this. But, you know, it's real popular. See a horn, bet a horn. I don't know why. It just is. Here we go. But it certainly worked out here. And there's the 7 out. So I'm not gonna complain here. All right, puck goes off. We got a little more time. Give this another try. Here we go. A few more dollars left. There's the 9. And looking for a horn number. 6 the hard way. 6 hard. 5. 9 point hit. Puck goes off. 10 the hard way. 10 hard. Puck's on the 10. 4 the hard way. We've definitely rolled more than 6 times without seeing one. So, you know, that's the probability, but, you know, the dice do what they want to do. That's what gambling's about. Either winning against the probability. There's another 4. And there's a 7 out, which doesn't really affect our side game here. Yo 11 on the come out. Okay. Let's go see a horn, and we're going to bet our horn. Here we go. Will they come in bunches again? 8 the hard way. No. And we don't win in the field. So that's our point. These are going to lose. Let's roll a little bit longer. We've got a couple bucks left. There's the 8. Puck will go off. Same shooter. Yo 11. 11 on the come out. And let's see what happens here. 6 easy. So that's going to be the point. These are going to come down. And we really don't have enough. So to bet it again, I mean, we could pull from there, but I kind of want to see the count. And the roll would just continue. I'll give it a 1. Let's see if we can get a 7. There's a 9. We'll try and get the puck off. I know a lot of people follow along with my rolls, bet other strategies. There's a horn. I mean, I guess you could do $5. We'll just do that just for the fun. It'll mess up the count and the dice are built. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to end it there. Count it up and see where we ended. Obviously, we started with 200. And we have quite a few green here. So there's 100, 200, 300. So there's our profit. 325, 350, 75, 400, 405, 410, $413. So little silly side game. Yes. Are they bad? High house edge bets? Yes. But I don't know. We ran with the bulls and it certainly won us an extra $213. So whatever strategy you like to play, maybe in addition to that, you might start adding running with the bulls. All right, let's go ahead and graph out running with the bulls and dicer.io. And you see that big gain there where we hit multiple horns in a row. But I was very curious, using see a horn, bet a horn as the trigger is how running the bulls was. I wondered if maybe having a different trigger, like seeing 2 non-field numbers, so the 5, 6, and 8. If you see that happen twice, maybe that's a better trigger than to start betting on the field and horn. So let's go ahead and see that with today's roll. So we've got a build here, running with the bulls, 2 non-field triggers. And it did not do well. It lost about $100, where the running with the bulls won over $200, as we saw. Let's go ahead and run this multiple times using random number generated 10 shooters. The non-field busted out much earlier, and the original didn't lose all of its money in 10 shooters. This time, using the, hitting back-to-back non-field numbers, so like the 6 and then the 8, and then you would start the field in horn bet. It actually did much better, nearly 300. And running with the bulls almost broke even. Okay, they both lost. The non-field did a little better. Ooh, the non-field got crushed. Running with the bulls did okay. I mean, they both lost money. This time, it's just going to depend. If you see the 6 and 8, and then happens to roll horns after that, then the non-field trigger is going to win. If you see a horn, bet a horn. If those roll back to back, then that's going to win. So just kind of interesting. Again, these are just strategies for fun. Original one there. It looks like the waiting for 2 non-field numbers before making the bet, it seems to bust out more, lose all of its money. Again, it busted out. Original did okay. And that might be because maybe it's happening less often that you see a horn number and then you bet on it. I don't know, but these are the graphs, so pretty interesting, and that's what the benefit of kind of running things through dicer.io gives you. But yeah, this is just a little side game for fun, and give it a try maybe. If you're enjoying my videos, consider supporting the Color Up channel by joining my club, the Color Up Club. It's an awesome community of craps enthusiasts just like me, and I also give out some free swag. So check out my website, colorup.club.